Hello and welcome to another episode of Football Pundits podcast for our weekly updates and daily dosage of all things related to football. I'd like to welcome back Kshitij, Rishabh and Anshuman. Before we move forward, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our videos and click on the bell icon. Also, this video is sponsored by Jersey Republic. You can find their social media handles in our descriptions below. And also, do not forget to follow us on the social media handles. So this has been a very exciting and eventful week for specifically, I would say, Liverpool and Spurs. Spurs had a very eventful FA Cup match, which they lost in a 5-4 loss. I don't know how many of you caught that match, but it was one of the most eventful matches I've ever seen. It was definitely something which I've been craving for a long time. What were your thoughts?
I mean, it's happening in Cup. Wanted in the league.
Yeah, I mean, same. I mean, I think I remember like United Liverpool game also was an exciting one in the cup, but not in the league game. So
exactly.
Yeah.
But coming back to the league, I mean, we saw another Liverpool fixture where they've lost yet again. Last year, I remember they were after 24 games they were at 70 points. This year they're at 40. Would you guys say this is one of the worst? This is one of the worst title defenses you've ever seen from any team in the league?
Not one of the worst because United 2013 has to be the worst.
Which one?
United 2013. After we won the title in 2014, David Moyes was like hired to be the manager. I think we came 7th in that season, which has to be one of the worst title defenses in my.
So the thing is, you want United to be on top of every list. You want to be at the best also, or you want to be at the worst as well.
No, I do not want. This is one list I do not want United to be at the top of. But
no, kudos. Bringing United out.
That's the sign of an actual fan, right? We have been through the thick and thin of the club.
But I guess I don't know. I mean, the match. I think you can sum it up in the last 7 where they conceded 3 goals. Alisson coming up with yet another brain fade. I guess I think it's more. I mean, it's 2 consecutive games where he's committed some silly blunders. I don't know if you should stop. We should maybe stop calling it brain fades, and maybe it is Alisson who's just not at his confidence level right now. Something is wrong with him. What were your thoughts on that specifically, guys?
I believe that I think Alisson is a quality keeper, and we have seen before. I think the issues that he's having is like it has happened with De Gea as well. We have seen it. Like one mistake goes to another unless there is one game where he gets the confidence back, or probably he's dropped for a particular game just to keep him out of the team, just to tell him to go home, get your mind calmed down. It's okay. We have lost the title, but still there is a league. There's top 4. We need to fight again. So I believe he will come back. These are the mistakes that happen. Like it proves that he's human. He can't be at the best every time. But other than that, I think the match was like the first half was completely different from the second half. Probably like the first 65 minutes were completely different. Liverpool were dominating. I mean, the goal that they scored, the first goal, I mean, that was the assist from Firmino was a thing to behold. I mean, that was so brilliant. And Mohamed Salah as casually just slotting it in. Like, it looked like, yes, they are the one who are in control of the game. And suddenly then that penalty, there was not penalty. I mean, the second goal that was scored because of Alisson and Vardy not scoring in 7 goals, getting this kind of opportunity, I think that is going to help his confidence as well. Credit to Alisson again. And then I think the third goal was just something they just kept on going in. The confidence was low. The back line was struggling to find the line. They started the youngster again. It was his first game. And I think that also, like the partnership with Henderson, it will gonna help improve. his worth. But this was not the match where he wanted to establish himself as the defender that Liverpool signed. So yeah, I think it was the story of two halves, and the mistake cost Liverpool the game.
So, I mean, Rishabh, I mean, we saw yet another VAR decision, which was, I guess, controversial, where we saw Firmino's foot, which was coming into the play for the first goal, where Maddison scored through the free kick. I mean, it was first it was ruled as offside, but then they checked the foot for Firmino's foot, and then they decided to give it as an onside. Do you think it was the correct decision, or do you think the goal should have been disallowed on that?
No, I mean, it was a correct decision. Like, we could see the line. So, I mean, there's no, I mean, we can't say that it wasn't the incorrect decision, because the foot was ahead, and the player who was blocking the Alisson's view, he was onside. So yeah, it was the correct decision. You could all see that. Like, there's no debate in that. So, but coming to the game, yeah, I think I completely agree with Anshuman. It was a game of two halves. I definitely feel Liverpool should have won. They were in control of the game. Just that mistake from Alisson at least cost them a draw, if not a win. But like, I feel Alisson is in the entire team. The entire Liverpool team is in disarray right now. Like, they don't really know what has happened to them. They are so low in confidence, be it in the attack, be it in the midfield, be it in the defender. And now it's.
I think the realization of knowing that they're not gonna get the title this time, I think that hit them pretty hard.
Yeah. I mean, it was all going well up until December.
Yeah, it was all going well. That is what.
Like, we were not saying that, we were not still predicting that, Liverpool is going to win the title, but everything was still going well. Like, it was in their favor. But City, for somehow, like, I don't know how they have come up with this 16 straight wins or 15 straight wins, or whatever the number of wins they have. But Liverpool are definitely are suffering in low in confidence right now. It's affecting their manager. It's affecting the entire team. And I mean, 24 matches, you said 70 points last time. Yeah, they barely lost a game up until February. I think they lost the first game in February.
24 games, you can get a possible, I think, of 72 points, and they had.
I think the only points they dropped was at Old Trafford. That was a draw. Other than that, they won every game they played last season up to the 24th game, I think.
Yeah.
When they lost to Watford, Watford was, I think, their first defeat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they lost that game this time, like around this time in February, last week of February. But yeah, like, so.
But I mean, let's talk about Brendan Rodgers. He's completed the trifecta this season. He's got a win over Pep. He's got a win over Jose. He's got a win over Klopp now. All three, he's done it for the first time. He's never been able to master these trio. So, what do you think of this? I mean, Rishabh, I want to come back to you again, because you've never been a fan of Leicester or even
he does not sound to me as a scammer, Rishabh.
Fake.
But
we have the new word now. Fake. All right.
I'm not a fan. Trust me, I am literally not a fan of Brendan Rodgers. Like, there's no way that there's no way he can prove that he's a good manager. He cannot.
I mean,
as simple as that.
I think he is proving it.
Let's see.
I think Leicester will drop off somewhere in the next month.
Let's see where they end up, because the amount, the kind of inconsistency they have in their team.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel it was Liverpool's mistakes that they lost the game. Leicester won the game. They lost against Leeds 3-0. They give such wonderful performances one game, and then the other game they just drop off. You cannot win the title like this. If that is his mentality coming to Leicester, that he's going to win the title, he's never going to win the title.
I don't think this season or the previous season he was thinking of getting to the title. I think getting to the top four is something that they need to balance it out properly. They need to establish themselves as a top four team, and for doing that, they need to be constantly in the picture of the title race. Not necessarily go for the title, but probably be in the mix.
I don't even think they're going to in the top four.
No, but when you talk about inconsistency, are you talking about Leicester or your team? Your team is also one of the most inconsistent teams we've ever seen. So
Yeah, we are. Everybody knows that. There's no harm in
So
accepting the
then
fact.
what makes Ole different from Rodgers? I mean, what makes Ole different from Rodgers? I mean, he has been inconsistent as well. I mean, then according to he's not a good manager.
But he's managing one of the best teams in the world.
He's managing one of the biggest clubs in the world. That's the difference. Like, you need to understand the fact that the pressure that Brendan Rodgers is under and the pressure Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is under is completely different.
He's not playing. He's not playing. Is he playing? Oh yeah, he's playing. He's playing in the European games.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not convinced with the argument, but neither is another Chelsea fan.
Let's put it this way: if Brendan Rodgers do not finish top 4 this season, nobody's going to come after his job, right? If he finishes 5th or 6th, if United finish outside the top 4, everybody would be calling for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's head. That's how different these two clubs are. So that is why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer managing that pressure, and especially the position that we were in the start of the season. We lost to Tottenham 6-1. Everybody thought of us as a mid-table team for this season, and now we were in contention of the title just a couple of weeks back. Maybe not now, but just a couple of weeks back, we were in contention. Leicester City has been in and around that position for a long time, and they have been steadily dropping points in positions where they should have or could have actually pushed on, which in itself tells the fact that Brendan Rodgers and Leicester has the capacity to completely derail their season. Come the
and to back up to your point, like they did it even last year. Like when they were in control of that position, even I would even say that they were in control to finish second, and they lost all of it. What happened in the last?
That we have been talking about that asterisk, right? So that
you can't every time you can't bring up the asterisk either. Like sometimes you have to blame the manager. Like he was not good, so just accept the fact about it. You can't every time you can't bring up the fact that it was an asterisk season. So yes, Leicester couldn't finish. Just because when we talk about United, then you will bring up asterisk question. But yeah, when we talk about any other team, you're like, okay, no, it was an asterisk. That's why they weren't able to finish.
Yeah.
No, I think
but that is not that's not a valid argument.
No, I don't say that United went ahead or Chelsea went ahead. They finished top 4 and top 3 because of asterisk season. I say that because Leicester dropped points.
Yeah,
it opened an opportunity for us.
Leicester dropped points. Yes, I am completely. I'll let you finish your point.
I've never said that. Oh no, Leicester dropped points because of this.
But the thing is that it's not like when Leicester were dropping points, Chelsea and Manchester United they were not playing well. And they were just, kind of nicking the games 1-0, 2-0, and they were like just slowly crawled up the table. Right? That didn't happen. Like we all know, Chelsea played well, United played well, and that's why they were in the top 4. I mean, even if they continued that kind of form, and Leicester had their pre-COVID form, United would still not have finished in the top 4. It was because of all Leicester's. It was all Leicester's loss. Like they could not find anything. And I'm still worried.
So basically, it was Leicester's fault that it was because of Leicester we got the top 4, right?
Yeah.
In the end, that was the thing, right? Yeah, it was not Ole's determination and tactical acumen.
Let me cut you off right there.
He played well. It's not like he did not play well.
No. See, here's the thing. You can only win the games that you have in front of you, right? If a team is dropping off, you can only win those games. Like if a city starts to drop points off in the next coming weeks, like if they lose a couple of games, and if the teams behind them also lose games, they do not capitalize on that position. So if a team is dropping off, it's up to you. It's the onus is on you to actually capitalize on that position, right?
Yeah.
And that is what Manchester United and Chelsea did last season.
Yeah.
Okay,
but nobody's doing this. Nobody's doing it this time. Like so, just as a hypothetical situation, if in the next month City start dropping points, who is taking the onus on themselves that okay, fine, we drop points here, but from now to the end of the season, we will keep on pushing and we'll keep on winning the game. But that's not happening. Like Leicester just randomly loses the game. United just randomly loses the game. So yes, that is why City does not have any pressure, because they know they are the ones who are to beat. They still have like one game in hand. They're like 13 points ahead. Obviously, there is no way that anybody can catch up to them.
And I guess if they win the game in hand, they go
can.
10 points.
Losing 3 games in the rest of the season is not a huge ask. Like City can lose 3 games. They can.
Yeah, but what I meant to say is that being inconsistent, you cannot blame Brendan Rodgers and tell him that he is a fake or a scammer because his team is being inconsistent, because we have seen other managers and other teams, big managers, fail to perform, right? But that does not bring out the complete inclination that he's a bad manager, or because the things that he has been doing with Leicester, the positives, like they outweigh the negatives, according to me. The kind of team he has built up, the players who were actually the young players who were being overlooked by their own parent clubs, he got those players in. The English players, he's making a team around an English potential players. I think the he has the kind of mentality, I would say that. And personally, I was not a believer in him, like when he was even in Liverpool, because I never thought that he was like doing something in that particular season when Liverpool were this close of winning the title. I don't. For me, at that point of time, I never gave
So
credit
that
to Rodgers. I mean, my inclination was towards Suarez and the form he was in. That pushed the entire team to defend better, because
yeah. So that match is a good example of Brendan Rodgers and his ability to choke in critical situations. So Liverpool were Liverpool, due to Suarez, were in the title race that season, but they had the opportunity to win the title. All they needed to do was win that game, and they drew it, and they lost it at the very last. Like any manager, and they were up. I guess they were up in that game, and they end up drawing that. Like they drop points in that game. So that in itself shows that Brendan Rodgers as a manager has the tendency to drop off in critical situations. And coming to like the kind of English players, okay, he's breeding good English players. That is true, but those players are bound to bigger clubs. Maybe next season, maybe the season after that. If they're playing well, a City, United, Chelsea, maybe Arsenal would come for them, and Leicester maybe would get good price for them, but they would end up selling their best players. Like Madison is one of those players that could actually go on to another club.
Managing a club, bringing them into this position, bringing in the players, knowing the fact
but
that two years down the line, these players gonna go away, knowing the fact that we don't have the backing of the investment that United has. There are a lot of factors which make Leicester a mediocre team, but they're not.
No.
And managing that particular team, I don't think it is.
Leicester is not a club that does not have any money. Leicester is a club that has plenty money at, because every Premier League club is
every Premier League has. I'm talking about money when I'm comparing it to United.
Its best players. But when the big clubs come calling, none of those players will end up staying in that club.
Right, but I'm not talking about the club.
Yeah. That in itself, like if Brendan Rodgers is a great manager, his players would, no matter what, like Jurgen Klopp is a good example, right? Gini Wijnaldum, let's take that into exception, and maybe Mo Salah. But if you go after the likes of Sadio Mane, if you go after the likes of Roberto Firmino, maybe Henderson, like if a club like Real Madrid, Barcelona come after them, they would not leave the club because of the manager. You cannot say the same for Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah, I guess I mean I mean this is a topic which we can go on hours and hours, and I think keep talking because of the way this conversation is going. So I mean let me just get a quick thought and get back to the current league right now, and switch back to Liverpool right now. Liverpool's next match is against Everton. A quick thought on that. Do you think Liverpool is? I mean, again, they have they have a home game which is completely, their fortress is destroyed now, and they've been losing like heavily at home now. So, do you think Everton has a real chance of beating them again at home?
I mean, I feel like this is the only chance that Everton is going to get. I think they've not beaten Liverpool in like a decade or so, something. So I feel this is the only chance if they can, make some kind of um, statement here that okay, yeah, now this season we are the team to beat in Merseyside. That would be great for them, yeah. But like I don't see anything like the it's not going to change anything in the Merseyside. Like Liverpool's still going to be the biggest team, but yeah, for this season, if they want to mark that, yes, this is their only chance to do it.
So I mean, okay. So let's okay then. Let's see what happens then in that game. I think that is a Merseyside.
I mean, that can also the situation can completely be opposite as well. Like Liverpool, they are open. They might be waiting for making the statement to come back, and Merseyside derby, I think, is the best way to get back on the winning run.
Yeah, that's true. If like any club needed a fan,
we've been saying that for a long time now. Like this is
no,
the
that's
game
true. But Merseyside, like
this is the game Liverpool
like
comes back. But it's not
a game against Everton or a game against United would be the perfect game for Liverpool at the moment, because that is the game where the intensity would be so high that it might just kickstart those players. And if any time Liverpool needed their fans, it is now. Like it's bad that they cannot have any fans, but Liverpool really need those fans in the stadiums. That itself can like spark something in them.
That
I
I
do
agree.
Sure.
Yeah, that because I do not see them like they have dug themselves in a very big hole, very deep hole.
I mean, now let's move to the the man in the spotlight, the man in hotspot, who's been performing so well, Pep Guardiola, and obviously you cannot obviously overlook Gundogan right now because of the start he's had in 2021. What did you guys think of the City Spurs game, which was yet another convincing victory for City, who recorded their 11th and their again yesterday also, which has racked their 11th consecutive Premier League victory now. What did you guys think of that game? Anyone would like to jump in?
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely say that. Yeah, let's take this moment and on the FPP panel that yes, we've been talking about we cannot decide who the league title winner is going to be until the 28th or 29th game week. Let's just concede that the title is going to Manchester, but not United.
Yeah.
So
that seems to be the consensus right now.
You just had to bring United and Manchester together, not even stating the name City, even in your statement. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I guess the noisy neighbors are finally getting their title. I guess it's
I mean, nothing to take away from City. They've been brilliant, like for the last couple of months. I think they. Even after KDB got injured, we all said, okay, maybe this is the time.
I mean, we always even in our podcast, we have been saying, okay, let's see if this player gets injured, what's going to happen, and it happened. The situation was there, and still, then City took off from that with complete other velocity. I mean, they didn't think that was a setback. No.
Yeah.
It was time for somebody else to come into the position and.
I think
do that, and Gundogan has taken up that role.
I think we should give
Gundogan's injury.
We should give credit to Pep here.
But I think I don't think it's a long injury, Gundogan.
The extent
even if it's, I think if he's out a couple of weeks, I think it's good enough for City to maybe drop a couple of points. They won't because they have.
The thing is that. Gundogan is, I mean, City is not completely dependent on Gundogan right now. It's not only his attacking prowess which is actually getting them the wins. The whole team has been contributing for a long time. Yeah. I mean, obviously, you seeing Gundogan scoring every game, but it's not only him; it's the team effort.
Yeah, actually, you can see that Gundogan is actually somebody who is actually pushing himself towards the positions. I mean, he does not have to be in that position, but he is. I think it is all his individual eagerness to score the goals right now. I think he knows that he has that form going on. Anything he hits is gonna go to the back line.
I think his runs have been very intelligent. Like I saw the game against Tottenham. the kind of runs that he's been making from the midfield, like he's been
Yeah, exactly. I
running
mean,
past their
that's
defenders, and it's a simple ball, and they end up finding him, and he puts the ball in the back of the net for that. Like the goal, like the Edison assist was brilliant yesterday. The
I
way
mean, the
and
assist was brilliant,
Sanchez,
and the way he controlled the ball,
yeah,
he had
exactly.
like he was
He
playing
left
like a
Sanchez
finisher. He
for
was
on his
playing
wake.
like a number 9.
Yeah, he left Sanchez on his wake. Like that was so
Yeah,
fun to see.
that was fun
Literally,
to see.
Sanchez was.
He
It
fell on
was
his
like
floor.
Messi and
Literally,
Boateng
he
again.
like fell on his floor.
Yeah, it was like Messi and Boateng again when he like ended up putting on his back. Right, it was fun to see. But that's the thing. Like City at the moment, I don't feel like they have another midfielder making that sort of runs. So leaving Gundogan out might be a little bit of a clock that might come up in their like machinery that's been running so smoothly. Like it's scary how good they're playing at the moment. Like
But even like Gabriel Jesus has, I think, has got the form. I think he has scored 4 goals in the last 6 games or something. And I think their striker is finally clicking in that particular number 9. And Sterling is always there, I think, to give those runs and boost. For
yeah.
personally, I don't think like even if Gundogan loses 1 or 2 weeks or 1 or 2 matches, I think City would be able to like win. I
Yeah,
think.
the even Sterling has been phenomenal so far,
Yeah.
and since 2021, he's also been pretty good.
And we
So
cannot forget Foden.
yeah, just to mention one thing about Gundogan, he's actually the joint top scorer with Lewandowski right now in 2021. So that is
Wow.
an exceptional
Wow.
achievement. Uh, Lewandowski has 9 goals in 10 appearances, and Gundogan has 9 goals in 12 appearances across all competitions.
I
So
still remember the days when Gundogan was playing CDM.
yeah, so I mean, this is the purple patch of his career, which maybe he might not actually have this kind of run in his career once again. But till
True.
whatever time it lasts, I guess he needs to enjoy it and savor it as much as
Mhm.
he can. Pep yesterday said that. I mean, with the injury update, that he might know in a couple of days about the groin injury, because Gundogan obviously said that he was feeling a little bit tight in that specific area. So it might be possible that he might. I mean, I think it's anyway a good strategy if Pep actually rests him again Everton, because it's not a very crucial game for them. I mean, they can survive that game without him also. And I think coming up, and they have the weekend fixture against Arsenal. So that is definitely going to be the key over there. So I think Gundogan, if rested, is going to be better.
Hopefully he rests him. I would love it if he rests him. I don't have him in my FPL team, man.
Yeah, you've been crying since yesterday about this, so not having Gundogan and everybody making them his captain and triple captain. So you've been crying over that. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, since I mentioned, we have the next week fixture for Arsenal versus City, which is another, I think, an important fixture.
Rohit, before just we start, I just wanted to ask you all a simple question. What did you think about the penalty, the modern penalty, as Jose called it?
Not a penalty. It was
Not a
not a
penalty, right?
Penalty. Yeah.
Not a penalty.
I mean,
Like just because your legs
that
tangle.
you could debate, right? You know, if that was
Exactly.
right, because I think both players lost the balance, and it wasn't the defenders. I don't know who the defender was, but like, yeah,
Højbjerg.
sorry, who?
Yeah, Højbjerg was the
Højbjerg.
Højbjerg, yeah, so Højbjerg, but he actually he lost his balance. Even Gundogan lost in that. It was never like Højbjerg actually, you know, he wanted to, you know, tackle Gundogan. Gundogan
And
put his.
I mean, I understand the referee giving a penalty. I mean, from his perspective, it was a particular tackle, but then they were so close with the VAR. They saw from every angle. They even checked the body language of the players while running, and then still it was a penalty. I mean, that was
Yeah, I
shocking
mean,
for me.
again, I would love to go ahead and meet with these officials, VAR officials, like talk to them. Okay,
Maybe one meeting.
what is in your mind when you give a certain penalty in against Brighton when Liverpool was playing, and then you give penalty over this one. So what was the thinking behind giving that one as a penalty and that one as a penalty, or that one as a penalty and that one not as a penalty? So I'd love to know what their logic is behind VR, because
at least we'll be clear about that then.
I think definitely we've seen across the season that there is no kind of consistency when it comes to VR or like any.
I don't think even VR is like even VR knows what it's doing. Like it gives silly decisions that should never happen in a football game. Like Gundogan, maybe there was contact. Okay, that's fine. But even Gundogan had lost the ball. The ball was not in his control. And if the ball is not in his control and the player ends up falling, that does not guarantees a penalty. So I don't know what VR is doing at that.
I don't think that day is far away when we'll see the streets of UK and everything with a march of no VAR, no VAR, and VAR.
No. That is not something that's gonna happen.
That's the case, but I guess we can obviously try to get a VR official on our podcast and try to see what he has to contribute on that specifically. That's
Mike Dean. I would like to get Mike Dean on the podcast.
No, we can get Dermot Gallagher, right? He's the guy that every channel turns to.
Mike Dean is a spicy one.
Yeah, Mike Dean would be the ultimate, I guess, dream to have on the podcast. So let's all four of us maybe try to contact him and see if we can get him on the podcast. Let's see what happens.
I think he does not want to talk to the reporters now. I don't think he's gonna talk to us.
Like if Mike Dean
talk to four nobodies, I guess that would be helpful for him. I guess.
If Mike Dean comes into our podcast, everyone would be like, "Remember that card that you gave in that match? What were you thinking actually?"
So I mean, let's. So I guess, let's go back to City's next fixture, which is against Arsenal. They have a. I mean, let's get a quick thought on that specifically, because Arsenal had a good match today against Leeds. They won 4-2. Aubameyang scored a hat-trick. He's finally among goals, which he's been craving for such a long time now. Do you guys think it's going to be? Do you think this particular game against Leeds is going to be beneficial for Arsenal going into the next match against City?
Definitely, like it's not going to be
a midweek game against Everton as well, so they do have like one more fixture to play.
Like it has, like it's going to be a morale booster for Arsenal. Anyhow, winning, like their main striker scoring a hat trick, them winning a game pretty comfortably, that has to be a confidence booster. Plus, they know that against Manchester City, you cannot like outplay them. All you need to do is wait out into the box and counterattack them, which Arsenal seems to be pretty good at with the pace they've got up front. So that is the only way you can actually hurt Manchester City at the moment.
Rishabh, what do you think?
Leeds play is like that. So scoring 4 goals against the Leeds side.
But I guess even if they believe in the counter-attacking play and the high pressing game, whatever they do. But what you want to say is Aubameyang amongst goal, and it's going to be a huge confidence booster for him, I guess.
He's not. I don't see him even scoring against City. Like. The only positive I see for Arsenal is their home. That's it. Like there's no other positive. I feel like City rolls past Arsenal, but again, we said that about Arsenal, like when they were playing against Chelsea, but they totally changed that game around, right? But I think City is totally a very different opposition. So I really don't fancy an Arsenal win over there. The max I can go for is a draw, but I'm heavy favorites on City who win at the Emirates.
So just to get the closing thoughts, scoreline predictions, guys. I think like it's going to be a 3-1 for City.
2-0, 3-0, City.
I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw.
1-1 draw, of course.
Yeah.
Minus 2-0 for City.
Okay, so there you have it, folks. We have the scoreline predictions over here. We have the student.
Rohil, but like just one more thing here. But although I do think like City can drop points against Everton.
Everton, okay.
I really believe that they might drop some points.
Let's see what Everton does today against Fulham. I mean, it should be a walk in the park for them. But let's see what happens with Calvert-Lewin missing the fixture. So let's see what happens. but we definitely are excited about the student facing off against his master, the Arteta versus Guardiola. So it would be interesting to watch that. Rishabh kept contemplating what I was saying over there, but yeah. So there you have it, folks. Thank you for joining us on this podcast. Do remember to like, share, and subscribe to the video, and do not forget to click the bell icon and follow us on the social media handles mentioned on the top, and you can find the links in the description below. Thank you, guys.